Ladies and gentlemen, I am filming my roleplay show, a special recording over 2 nights in the Bangor Courthouse on the 16th and the 17th of October. That's Wednesday and Thursday, the 16th and 17th of October, 2024. It's the last time I'm going to do the show, then it's done. It's going to be made into a special. It's going to be made available for probably on Patreon to start, and then maybe to the wider world. So if you want to come and support me with that and be in the audience and fill the room, you can get tickets via the link in the description, wherever you get the podcast. I'd love to see you there. And it's going to be a great night. And then the second night's also going to be great. So role play for the last time. 16th and 17th of October. Guys, we wouldn't be able to bring you the show that we bring you without support from our sponsors. And one of our favourite sponsors is none other than Visual Antics Apparel. Visual Antics supply the merch for this very podcast. Then all the merch that they have made, the designs for the podcast have been 10 out of 10. I cannot speak highly enough of Visual Antics as a brand, as a creative entity, and as an apparel wholesaler. I don't know if wholesaler is the right word. I don't even know what it means. But they make great stuff. And the Sly Guy podcast merchandise is, I think, the best stuff on it. Now, I mean, obviously there's plenty of other stuff there too, and you can be open to your own opinions. But in my opinion, it's the creme de la creme. And if you want to get over there and you see what merch they've got, the Physique Guy, if you want to have a Physique Guy winter, get over there and get the Physique Guy t-shirts. Get the Fox, the Sly Fox t-shirts. Get the Sly Guy, get the whole works over there. Hats, jumpers, t-shirts, hoodies, all over there at visualanticsapparel.com. If you don't want to have to type that into the bar, the link is in the description of the podcast. As well as that, you get 10% off if you use the code SLYGUY10 at checkout. That's SLYGUY10 at checkout to get 10% off your Visual Antics Sly Guy official merchandise. The Sly Guy podcast is brought to you in association with Modest Beer. Modest Beer and myself are long-term partners. We are like, I'm trying to think of people who've been together forever. I know, we're like John Bon Jovi and his missus, I guess. We go together like cream and jam. We go together like cheese and crackers. We go together like coffee and sugar. Basically, we're the dream team. And if you want to taste Modest Beer, you want to wear Modest merch, you can head to the modestbeer.co.uk. You can see all about what they've got there. You can check out their brews letter if you want to be kept abreast, aye, daddy, of all things Modest. You can sign up to that and get all the info right into your email inbox. modestbeer.co.uk. Follow the link in the description. Oh yeah, daddy. Creepy, that one. It's awesome. The Sly Guy podcast has a Patreon, and we all know what that means. You can pay as little as £3 a month, and in fact littler than that. You can £2. That's where tiers are. We're going to change that. £2 a month. You get all the bonus content. You get an extra Sly Guy podcast on a Monday. You get vlogs. You get early access to this podcast. You get the works all over there. Early access to tickets, like my special that we're recording that went out on sale there first. All at patreon.com/Sly Guy podcast. You get discounts on merch and early release of different merch. You get all the magic behind the scenes stuff is at patreon.com/Sly Guy podcast. You can go there now by following the link to the podcast in the description below.
I'm the Sly Guy.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Sly Guy podcast. It is a fun time. We had a fun episode. This was a great podcast. And I can say that because sometimes I'm hard on myself. Sometimes I'm maybe too kind to myself. This is one of those occasions where I feel I'm spot on. It was a great episode. And I want to, before we get into explaining what happened, who's on, which you already know because you can read descriptions, I want to let you know that thank you to everyone that's subscribing to this podcast, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be on Apple Podcasts, whether it be on Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you get it. By hitting the subscribe button, it really helps this podcast. It helps me get more guests. It helps me get better quality guests. It helps me keep the standard that we are getting accustomed to now. I must say the feedback to the podcast of late has been great. Thank you to anybody who's loyal and standing, who's long-standing standard listener. You know what I mean? The long-standing supporters of the podcast, I appreciate it. And all the new ears and eyes that we've had over the last while, I appreciate you too. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you see me looking right at you right now, whatever you're doing, why don't you just take your wee mouse over to the subscribe button? Just click it now. Just reach on over to subscribe, click. You'll get this podcast into your little notifications on your front page every Thursday. You'll be like, oh, there's Dave again. Who's he got on this week? Oh, it's somebody I like. I'll watch it. Oh, it's somebody I don't know. Maybe I'll check them out. Maybe I'll become a fan of their work as well. Maybe it's somebody that actually, you know what? I didn't like this person, but then I've listened to them as a podcast and my entire perception of them has changed, all by just taking your wee thing over, boop, hitting subscribe and supporting the podcast. Thank you guys so much for that. And what an episode this is. If this is the first time you're tasting the SLY Guy mead, what a day to do it. We have my friend and yours, comedian, theatre writer, and author, Sean Hegarty. What an episode we had. We talked a lot of puns, a lot of fun puns, a lot of Belfast-related show puns. We spoke about his book that's coming out. Let me tell you a joke, which is absolutely fantastic. My kids love it. And we just talked about general life, being a parent, coping with the demands of the modern world. And all in all, it was just a fun episode. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So wherever you're listening, again, thanks for your ears. I appreciate it. Thanks for your eyes if you're on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I appreciate it all. And I hope that in order to showcase that, you can enjoy this episode of the podcast. And I hope it comes across how much I enjoyed doing this and how much fun I had with my friend and hopefully yours to be, Sean Hegarty. Sean Hegarty, two dads, we're on the podcast. We're just going to start because I feel like we're already...
Fist each other.
There you go. No,
Love it.
I'll never turn down a fisting. But you, like, we just always have nice chats here anyway. And sometimes we're like in the middle of a conversation and we're like, we should probably just hit record here and hope we get something good out of it because it's been fun. How are you keeping anyway?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for coming to the show last night.
Thank you. For anyone who doesn't know, went to see Sean and the owner have written a play in the Grand Opera House. How long does it run for?
An hour and a half. Aye.
Fuck's sake.
It's it started last night, and which is Monday the 30th September, and it's on until Saturday the 5th of October. 2 shows on Friday, 2 shows on Saturday.
Sex in the City Hall?
Sex in the
Is
City
it
Hall.
and the City Hall or in the City Hall?
In the City Hall. Sitch for short.
Right, okay. Is it sex in the city or sex and the city?
Sex and the City.
But sex in the City Hall?
But we called it Sex in the City Hall. And here,
City.
I'll give you a wee clue in what goes on in the show or what doesn't go on.
Yep.
There's no sex in it.
I know. That was disappointing for me because I was there waiting to see some sex.
Yeah, we asked if we could show a video if they want to get in our hole at the end, but they said no.
No, but it was hopefully you doing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
It was me.
That'd be a mug for you if she's like, yeah, I'll do it, but I'll just get another like actor in or something to do it. You'd be like, this is uncomfortable now.
Before we go any further, because I don't want this to get flagged, I brought a wee present with me for you today,
Okay.
and I've already sprinkled the fairy dust within
Okay.
the studio. If you want to have a wee nosy about, see if you can find it. Just a wee treat from me to you
In the studio? Where am I
in
looking?
the studio.
Because this might make for weird content if it's...
It's going to be on screen, and I want to say to you earlier, just in case you don't want it to be in, but
Oh, no. What?
happy enough.
Oh, what you've done is you've put a picture of my dad. You know what? We'll not point it out. No, see.
Just say nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's covered anyway. You know, no one will know. And if they do, hey, it's something. Oh, okay, so Fritz in well.
Basement humor.
Oh, he's the foundation of a good podcast. Anyway, that caught me up. That's the most I've been caught off guard all the time.
I know how much you like your, I'm going to say, creepy man.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, because that could be problematic on so many levels for me. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, yes. What is the worst thing about that is you're just in the middle of promo and you're showing the opera house.
Perfect
But
promo.
yeah, so sex. There's a lot of sex involved in this surprise.
Not this kind, though.
No, good. But
Yeah.
I went to see a show last night, Very funny.
Thank you.
And I'm a guy. I'm a man. I'm a dad guy. So I'm not what you'd say the
That's the
target
thing.
audience is.
In
But I
this-
find it funny.
Industry insider for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're like making a show, excuse me, when you're doing PR and stuff, and when you're figuring out your blurb, I think it is statistically something like 90% of women
Mm-hmm.
are the ones who buy tickets to theater.
Yeah.
So if you're putting on a theater show, have that in mind. If you're ever writing a show, that 90% of the buyers are going to be women.
And 10% gay men.
10%. I would go 5 and 5, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
But so that's what we've done. So we've made it, modeled it on a big girls' night out. But obviously, jokes are jokes, comedy's
so
comedy.
like
Do you know what I mean?
for lots of girls, like for all girls, not specifically for like Lizzo's.
No.
Okay. Because there's not a lot of that in it, you know. So if any, you know.
Yeah, no, it's proper. Just like gather the girls. You know, this is our one night out a year.
Mhm.
Girls, align your calendars, align your periods. We
And-
are going.
Oh no, don't line that, because then if there is like
Chaos.
a husband going along, he doesn't need that kind of
Yeah.
heat, you know.
Yeah, but did you find it to be like even I knew what was happening. I've seen it 5 times, but did you find like a roller coaster almost of
I found actually,
almost tear jerking?
yeah, there was a couple of bits out of nowhere really, and I was like,
Mm.
oh wow, I didn't expect to feel emotional here.
Hmm.
But it did, and I think the message is very clear. As a guy who, like, I've said this in the podcast before, a feminist guy. I'm a creator. Like,
Nothing wrong with that.
I've helped. You know, like, well, people are like, how have you helped the feminist cause? Like, I contributed to creating to be women. Like my 2 little daughters, I want them to be.
And you help
know.
lads come out, don't you?
Yep, I do. I suck their dick, and if they enjoy it, they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's done.
If you enjoyed your
So,
gay,
yeah.
if you hate it, you're straight.
Yeah, but it's weird that the ones that hate it still let it get. It doesn't matter. But they, you know, so there was bits in that. I was like, there's a good message here too at the end of
Yeah.
it, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of good jokes, all the one-liners. A
Thank you.
personal highlight for me was hearing your wee subtle voiceover cameo in a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
of bits.
As Cecil.
Was very funny.
Girlies,
Yeah.
this is Cecil.
It was very funny. But it was really good. And the cast were all brilliant as well, and a good cast, like not just, you know.
I could talk about the cast forever.
Yeah.
See if there were Oscars for theatre in NI. Them
You're getting
girls
more
cleaning up.
specific every time.
Yeah, yeah.
See if
There's
Oscars
shows that are on the
for
Grand
NI.
Opera House in the first week of October
It's
in
written by
2024.
Sean O'Donnell, these guys.
We'll even go a week back where and we'll include Kieran Bartlett.
Yeah.
But you know, if
It'll
a
still be
female was to win,
Well, not happen. Come on, that never happens. But no, it was really, really good. And yeah, my wife is actually just going separate to me, and she's actually gathered her friends and said, this show's on, let's go see it. So they're going on Saturday. Thankfully, I'm out of the country, so I won't have to deal with her.
Discuss.
And,
Where are you?
the
Where are you
block.
going?
I'm going away with Andrew Ryan. He's doing a couple of shows in Newcastle and Glasgow. I'm going with him to do tour
stand?
support. Yeah,
Excellent.
unfortunately for me.
Is this the beginning of his
I think,
tour?
so, I think he's I think so.
He's doing the Grand Opera House, isn't he?
Yes,
I seen
he is.
flyers in it last night.
He is. So I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, it'll be great fun. I'm enjoying doing stand up at the minute, and I think that's a new audience I want to try to
The
get in front of a bit,
Theatre goers or Andrew's audience?
like just across the water, you know, like mainland guys. But it's just it's great, and a great opportunity, and I'm excited for it. However, it's just a bad week. We're having a lot of stuff done in the house. There's a lot of upheaval, so I feel like it's a stressful week, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be grand. And then Catherine's going out. Thankfully, we're living in my parents' house at the minute while the work's being done. So,
Your parents are away?
well, they're back now for the weekend, 'cause it'd be sly if I was away in England. And
Yeah.
Catherine was out getting paced with the girls.
Oh,
And I
very
was my
true,
2
yeah.
girls living with 2
It's
dogs.
the dogs babysitting
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, which would be awkward. But you know what? I'm looking forward to it, and it'll be a nice time. And
Do you have plans during the day or anything? When he's in, I suppose I'm thinking football matches here.
well, the Newcastle game's late, so I have a couple of friends who bought tickets to the show. So they have said, "Do you want to go out with us afterwards?"
How
So I was like, "Yeah." But I said, "How about the lads?"
yeah.
But also my nephew's just gone to university there, so I'll probably meet him for lunch, go to the show, and then maybe go for a few drinks afterwards. And
Lovely, Toon Army.
yeah, looking forward to it. And then we're up next day to go up to Glasgow, so
Yeah.
I can't be too hungover. But you know what? They love it up there anyway. So
Any games on up in Glasgow? Do you say you are?
yeah,
Any games on up there in the
I
Sunday?
don't know. I haven't looked, but
It's usually Rangers or Celtic play on the Saturday and the other one plays
Yeah.
on the Sunday. Unless they're playing each other, then it's on at fucking 9 in the morning, so
Yeah.
nobody can get drunk and
stab
start
each
fights.
other. But I think the matches are at weird times, and I think the shows are also at weird times. Like I think,
Right.
because obviously Andrew needs to be back to be on Q Radio first thing Monday morning.
True.
So I think we're flying back later on Sunday night. So the shows may be in the afternoon. So
Mm.
we don't know, but it
That'll be
doesn't.
fun.
It'll
That'll
be
be
fun.
fun.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it. But
Need to get a wee excursion or two.
Yeah,
Make it worth your while.
yeah.
Or are you happy to just kind of have a lie in and just
No, you know what? If I'm away
Child-free
anywhere,
time.
I'll go out and I like to take it in. I'm not one of these guys who'll go to somewhere and be like, right, I'll just wait to do the show. When we were in New York there for a while, I got up the first day, I got up like before anyone woke up in New York, which is a city that never sleeps. So figure that out.
doesn't make sense, does it?
But I got up at like 5:30 and just walked to Central Park myself.
And you're
before-
still alive?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
You
Were
see-
Hank and Marv there? Did you see them?
No, they weren't
Harry
there.
and Marv?
It was the wee woman. Yeah, Hank Marvin starving.
Yeah.
And also a singer. Some wee fucking country music fan. No, I disrespect Hank Marvin, you fat pig. But no, they were there. The wee woman was there, Pierce Morgan in the hat. She was there.
Yeah.
But I have a wee life hack for you. See if you're afraid of like being like attacked or threatened by like scary people.
Anywhere in New York?
People. It's primarily New York, but anywhere. If you start to masturbate before you go in somewhere, people tend to leave you alone.
Could you masturbate while chasing them? Joe, like if somebody starts chasing you,
Yeah.
can you counteract that with
Turn
a
around, yeah.
chase masturbation?
But if you're
Master chasing?
that'd be a great show.
Master chasing.
Can you imagine Bradley Walsh on that?
Mm.
But yeah, if you just go in, you're just looking around, you're already
And the
doing it.
guy has to see how far his jizz hits down the board,
Yes.
and that's where he has to start.
Then the
And
chasers,
then the other
would-
guy has to jizz up the board.
but they'd be good, the big chasers, because they've got the height advantage. And it looks like a wee spunk slide down there, and it was just come on and shoots down. But that's my life hack. But yeah, I got up there, looked around. It was nice to just see it before it was bunged with people. And I think, obviously I'll probably not get that in Newcastle as much, but you never know.
You
But
gigged in New York, didn't you?
Yes.
Where'd you gig?
We gigged in the Stand and
Right. Dead Rabbit, no?
Dead Rabbit, yeah.
What's it like? We're doing that in 3 weeks' time.
It is okay. Yeah.
Just okay?
It depends. I think it's just a bit of a weird layout.
Right.
And I think because it's quite like it's a nice bar. It's like the place to be. So like a lot of cool cats go there. And sometimes when you're a cool cat, you don't like to laugh. But then you know what happens? You get got and you get giggles,
Yeah.
and then it's all good time. But I think what I just we were there. I think the first day or second, like I think it was the first day we got there, and we got there late and went to bed. And I woke up at 5:30 to go walking in Central Park. So come like 10 o'clock at night, I wasn't full of energy. So first show I had a great time. Second show, like I actually at this point would like to just be in my bed, oh no, let me see. Oh no, don't worry about him. It's my
You're right.
builder ringing me. But you know what? Pap has to work. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He can give us a shout later. I'll ring him back. But yeah, it was a nice time. And your shows, is this like is this your third show you've done?
What's this?
Like
Theatre
your
show?
Third theatre show, yeah.
I think it's
Or
our fifth.
Fifth?
Fifth or sixth or something, yeah. Now, it depends what way you're looking at it, because producing it on our own, this is our first where we've done a 2-week tour and then a week in the Grand Opera House. Before that, we've done this is our third year coming up this year. We have a show coming out the beginning of December that runs to the end of December in the Baby Grand in the Grand Opera House. It's 120 seater, and we've done that twice already, so this is the third time.
I was there last year, wasn't it? Was it Home
Yeah,
Alone
no,
last year?
Alf in Belfast last year, Home Malone the year before.
I saw Home Alone. I don't think I saw Alf in Belfast, yeah.
So we've done those. Then we've written a couple of shows for GBL at the Waterfront.
Okay.
And then obviously we did a show, me, Diona, Paddy McDonnell, Kieran Bartlett, Chris Patrick Simpson, about 6 or 7 years ago, where it was written for us, but then we all kind of threw in our jokes and made it our own. So
And see some of the, like obviously if Home Alone, you have
Alf in
Sex and
Belfast.
City Hall, but like the Alf in Belfast, or sure making that locals, or any other ideas you have, like any other puns on films you've got that might.
Oh, we have one that I'll tell you. Well, I don't even know if I'm allowed to tell you about after. I can tell you down the line, but
Yeah.
we have one that we think will like sell out, fully sell out. I'll give you a few tips, a few hints after, and if you get it right, I'll. Do you know what I mean? I'll make a funny noise or I'll wink or something if you've got it right.
Well, this is my premise. It's gay.
It's gay.
A guy.
A guy.
Could be gay. and he's on like the Christmas night out. Like the whole sort of, and what happens to him? This sort of like weird liquid ends up on him. I don't really know what this liquid is. Semen.
Is it Home Alone? No.
And he gets on him. When he gets it on him, he turns into like a raging gay guy. It's called Kremlins. Based in Port. Like that?
I like it.
Yeah.
Like Die Hard on?
Yeah,
You have that, don't you?
Yeah, I'd just be me at my age, but we're right. Yeah, but I enjoy like the idea of like making a few. Let me try and think what you could have.
Let's like make
Sit
this the rest of the
well,
podcast.
Sit a Sinn Féin.
What else?
You're just going to give your big reveal here. But
Yeah, I'm
fuck,
going to end
could
up
have
coming
done
out with it.
that.
Were we doing Christmas shows or just
Well,
anything?
Anything
Just
could
anything
work. Yeah.
local?
Yeah, anything local you could make
Anything
into a film.
Banger management?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's good. Or could you have actors in it?
Yeah.
Kenneth Romana,
Love it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And Skillen Murphy?
That's very good.
Lurgan Klopp?
For Man on Fire.
From
That work,
Alan
yeah.
Fair.
Yes.
Yeah. We're coming up with some classics.
Yeah,
Here.
it's just
It's the next 15 years for us sorted.
yeah, I'm trying to think what other. Yeah, you can just write these down and off you go. But see if you do City Sinn Féin. Fuck.
Easy.
City
It's the next
Sinn
one.
Féin, and it's based in Citibank. A guy who works for the bank starts working for Sinn Féin. Oh,
50 Shades of Grey Abbey.
perfect.
Grey Abbey's a place, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
Love it.
I'm trying to think. All I can think about is ceasefires.
Mm.
Oh, wait, Saddam ceasefire.
Saddam? Who's ceasefire? What'd you say?
Saddam ceasefire.
Saddam.
Well, not Saddam ceasefire. No. If Saddam had done a ceasefire, he might still be with us. R.I.P.
Yeah. Very
Oh
true.
no, bonfires of no, chariots of bonfire.
Chariots
Yeah.
of Bonfire. Yeah.
But then you've got me thinking because we're talking Christmas. I'm thinking about Halloween, different seasons. You know?
Pallets in Wonderland.
Yeah. Just about Sandy Row bonfire. That's very good.
Just a Sandy Row bonfire and then two wee feet sticking out.
That's very good. That's like Wizard of Oz, that one too, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very good, very good.
Thanks.
A lot of fun. You could do this all day, so it would not be good,
Good.
good content for a podcast. But
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah. There we
Oh,
go.
so yeah, you've been a busy man. Stand up,
I know.
theatres now,
I know.
jokes.
Oh yeah, I'm an author now.
Yep, an
An
author.
official author. I was an unofficial author before. I have a Rodney joke book that I released about 8 years ago. Sold about 1,000 copies. Don't tell HMRC.
Nice. And they were what, 15 quid a
They're a fiver each.
book?
Yeah,
Better for my joke.
it's 15 quid each. So
Yeah, thank you.
per joke,
Yeah.
15 quid a joke. So
Nice.
then I have a joke.
So what's the
book.
difference between being an unofficial author and an official author?
Well, see the Rodney joke book, right?
Uh-huh.
I made it completely by myself. I designed
okay.
the cover, designed the back cover. I got it printed. I got a barcode. I literally just made it myself.
You faked it's basically what you're saying.
Pretty much. But I got to the point where I was like, no one's ever going to give me my own joke book.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put my own out there.
Uh-huh.
And it sold really well. Everybody that bought a copy loved it.
The Rodney joke book or this? Your new
The
one?
Rodney joke book.
Okay.
Then during the pandemic, I was like, we all obviously need to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So I put together 101 tips for newcomers into stand-up comedy
Yeah.
and released it as an ebook, which is, I think, still to this day on the likes of Google Play and iTunes or wherever you get audiobooks or ebooks. But I wrote that because, you know yourself, every now and again, an open mic comedian or somebody who's interested in comedy or wants to start gets in contact with you or sends you a DM and they're like, any tips? Because the best thing you can ever get is tips from somebody who's doing it, especially the likes of us who are doing it for a living. So I was like, I don't know if I'll ever gig again because of the pandemic. I don't know if we'll ever get out of these lockdowns. So I just put 101 things that I thought maybe would help someone getting into stand-up and just put it out there and probably sold about 15, 20 copies. But I did it more for my own mental health to just try to keep me taking over during the pandemic. But then this joke book come about.
So this joke book now, I must say, this is one you're very kind to send me a copy.
Yeah.
This is, let me tell you a joke. I want to think is about this. Now, I consider myself to be somewhat of a child's book connoisseur. 'Cause I've got children. I like to be interested in a book and you read it. I think there's components. The content of the book's obviously very important, but I think how a book looks is also really important.
Has to
this
catch
is
the eye,
unbelievable.
doesn't it?
Like to get Jim Field on board, who is
So proud.
one of the children's illustrators. Like,
Yeah, I think how we
it's
got him
unbelievable.
was we had obviously mocked up a bit of the joke book or a section
Yeah.
of it at least, and we sent it to him. And I think he has a child around the age.
Yeah.
The book's aimed for almost like 5 years plus.
yeah,
And we sent it to him, and he read the jokes with his child, and his child loved the
Papa,
jokes, and he
yeah.
was like, "Yeah, let's do it." But it must have took 3.5 years to get it
Yeah.
made from our first initial interview or meeting to it coming out last Thursday.
yeah,
So it was a long slog because as well, you know me, I'm a wordsmith. Do you know what I mean? All my jokes are all puns and
Yeah.
one-liners and things like that. But I had to teach myself a brand new like writing technique in order
Yeah.
to make this book because the joke is being translated into loads of different languages around the
Yeah.
world. They sent me 2 copies of a Portuguese edition the other day, which was very nice to open. And
But were you also like, what the fuck do we do?
I was like, I can't read this. What?
Yeah.
So I had to phone Cristiano. And I
Yeah.
was all, hey, can you tell me this down the phone?
And he's like, why are you mocking me with that
Mafia.
voice? Yeah, Cristiano, did a little favor for you.
We get some pizza and read some jokes.
I send a book to Cristiano Jr. But it's my Anna Holly, my 6-year-old now. Yes, it's gonna be 7 soon. I can't remember. But yeah, Holly, my 6-year-old, absolutely loves it. So we
Class.
read it now. She reads it herself. She's actually in the car
Love it.
reading it. That the book is in my wife's car actually at the minute because Holly likes to read it when we're driving places.
It's
So
lovely.
she takes it with us. Now, what was really funny was she's like, "Daddy, why have you written this?" I'm like, "No, I have not. This is your very you've had a personal message, which was, by the way, very lovely. Thank you very much. What you wrote, and that was
From
very,
the heart.
very sweet." And I was like, "This is signed by the author," and she goes to me, "He's your friend," and I was like, "Doesn't matter, Holly.
still the
That's
author.
exciting. You know, it's still a good thing." But no,
Yeah.
she loves it, and so much so that we were in bed the other night, and before bed we read the story, read the books together, and then we'll have a wee chat, and then put her to bed. So we were there, and she's like, "Can we try and write jokes?" And I was like, "Holly, I can't really write one-liners. You know, I can barely write bits, but I'll try." And then she's like, "Can I try to?" And then like her jokes were, to be fair, some of them caught me a bit off guard. You know, she's like, "Why can't the mouse cross the road?" And I was like, "I don't know." And she was like, "'Cause he's a poo." I was like, "Well, it does work, but it doesn't make any sense." So, but thanks. So we went together and we came up for a few jokes. Can I run them by you to see if
Please tell me you have them with you. You know them.
We wrote them on my phone because I thought
I love it.
I'll put this to you at some point.
Love it.
So now I, like with most of my material, run it by Catherine, got 2 laughs out of her,
With
And-
these,
and she doesn't laugh at a lot of things, right? The first one: where does the doggy keep its Christmas decorations? In the woof space. Thank you.
not translatable in Portuguese.
No.
but I like it.
What did the cat say when it stubbed its toe? Meow.
Meow. Oh, ouch.
Yeah, like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
What did the chimpanzee shout when it's by the way, a lot of animal jokes in there. Holly liked the animal theme. What did the chimpanzee shout when its bath was too hot? And this, I get what she was trying to do with this, but don't know if it makes sense, but I put it down anyway. What did the doctor say to the chameleon with a temperature? "Oh no, your head's very red, blue, green, yellow." And this was,
Brilliant.
I thought, the best one. What does a dolphin wear on his holidays? Flipper flops.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's my kind of joke.
There we go. So
Love
if you
it.
want,
Fair play.
you know, cellulose,
For book number 2,
you can. Yeah.
let me tell you another joke.
Is that that's already in the works?
No,
Yeah.
well, we have plans to make a second book. We just don't know what it's going to be yet.
And are you and Jim now like
Oh, we're
double team?
See, genuinely, right?
Mhm.
I met him, and about 10 minutes later, I was like, I've known this guy all my life. How is this the first time
That's
we've
good.
ever met?
Yeah.
They took us out for lunch and stuff. We did like a book signing in London. Their offices are down by London Bridge. Nosy Crow. They're the best people to work for. Unbelievable. And we just went for a lovely wee dander down the by the waterside. And
See any rats?
no, none at all. Did I tell you though when we were in Amsterdam, there was a rat in our takeaway place? Me,
Nope.
Darren Matthews, and James McKegney went for pizza or food of some variety.
Oh, I just thought you were calling Darren Matthews a rat there for a minute.
No, no.
Guys, a wee rat bastard, no.
We
I'm
are
not
my
trust
shirt
that.
on. I'm not the fucking. And genuinely, a rat was just climbing up and down the pipes right beside the cooker
Oh wow, how
where we had
pretty off.
already ordered and paid for our food.
What was it? What sort of food was it?
Ratatouille. I don't know. Just I think it was a pizza or
I put you off
chips
like
or
wouldn't
something.
it?
Oh,
You know?
well, still at it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it would put you
Were
off.
you baked though? Like, is
No,
that a
I
rat?
wasn't.
Is it real?
I think I was the only person in Amsterdam well, me and Tony, who was with us as well, just never, no interest.
Yeah.
Absolutely no interest.
Yeah, I've never been interested in that again. But
I would do something that, like, maybe recorded, like for scientific reasons to kind of see
so
how
you know
it
you're
works.
safe.
Yeah, yeah. Do you like on a podcast or something like a lock-in or something that's, for Patreon, or just where in the confines of your own home or in a studio, you can just have a laugh and see where it takes you. But it just doesn't interest me.
I don't think I'd be. Imagine that. It's like what we're going to do. We're going to lock ourselves in this bright coloured room and just take edibles and not leave and see what happens. Just freaking out, poking everywhere.
Yeah. There's retreats and stuff you can go on now, and they hand you all kinds, and you wake up 3 days later naked and sore all over and crying.
P. Diddy's party.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I don't like losing my faculties. It freaks me out a bit.
Yeah.
And haven't done it recently. Not for me.
No.
Not for me. No.
Where was this?
New York City. Yeah, I took
Right,
edibles
right.
out there, and
Now, what is an edible?
it
Anything that
is
fits in your mouth that's a drug?
no. It was cannabis in sweets, basically, instead of smoking
Right,
a joint.
okay.
Now, I've never smoked a joint and gone, I enjoyed that. So I don't know why, for whatever reason, I thought, it's a good idea. Take fucking loads of it in Haribo. And it wasn't.
What? How did you feel then? What was it?
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful. Like,
Were you in control the whole time? You weren't?
no, because a guy, right, what's the first thing you were taught as a kid? Now, again, this is a weird thing, because I remember being taught
Don't
as
go
a
near
kid.
your Uncle Peter.
Well, that goes without saying. But it's like, I don't think I've ever, and whether it's just a change of generation or not, but it's like, don't take sweeties from a stranger. I don't think I've told my kids that once.
That was a 90s thing, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now it's don't talk to strangers online, or don't
Yeah.
accept a friend request from somebody with a fire stick in their
Ours.
as their.
But like, it was weird. So we had done a gig, and I've spoken about this in the podcast before, so if people have heard, I don't give a fuck. But someone gave me, he goes, just, he give you one edible, and he goes, that's a lot, so don't eat it all yourself, split it with the boys, you have a nice time. And I was like, well, there's a few of us here, like, so can I have two? He says, yeah, so no problem. So we went to the gig, and we were watching the gig, and we had a wee bit, and I was getting the giggles. Now, again, this is not a disrespectful thing to say to Shane. Some people might take it as it's not intended this way, but you'll know what I mean, as someone who's seen it. No, as somebody who has, if you've seen someone set tens of hundreds of times, you just sit and you watch it happen. You're not like laughing like the first time you heard it. So like, I was watching his set, and it was an older bit he was doing, and I've heard it, I'd say probably close to 100 times, if not more. And I was finding myself going, giggling. I was like, fuck, why am I laughing at this? I know everything about this. This is like, and then I was having a good time, and a few of the other boys were having a really good time, and I was like, wow, this is pretty sweet. And then I had to go up and do my set afterwards, and I was up, and I was having a great time up there. And the only thing that I felt was a bit weird was I was having a full like dialogue in my mind about whether or not there was an Asian guy in the front row. So like, felt like there was two people in my mind. One was like, you do a really fucking good Chinese voice, do it for him. And like, I was really tempted about to just do it.
No way.
And then the other voice was like, absolutely fucking don't do that. So, and like, normally straight away, obviously don't do that.
Yeah.
But I was really close to giving it, and then I decided against it in the end, and I just did Central African to him instead.
Right,
But
right.
went off, and we're like, this actually feels really good. We're having a nice time. But I've been drinking from 10 in the morning because it was FA Cup final day. So in New York, it's like
Even
10.
knowing you had a gig at night.
Yeah, because it was only like a simple gig, but I wasn't pounding drinks. I had like 3 beers or something throughout the whole day, and then after that gig, had a beer, and then the edibles, and then went on afterwards. It went so well. I was like, fucking yeah, I'm pounding. In fact, I did gig, it's a podcast gig during the day, and then I took the edibles before the gig at night. So I was loving life.
Jeez.
And on the way back, we stopped and we were like, these edibles were great. It's a shame they're all done. No, that should have been the perfect amount. We should have just gone, let's just have a good night. Went in, bought more edibles, bought strong edibles. Probably shouldn't have eaten. I think like you're supposed to, they say like 200 milligrams is a good amount to have a good time. I had between like 3,000 and 5,000.
1,000?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because it was being silly, because when you're like, you should only eat a wee bit of this. Like, I just thought the whole thing was really weird, because you're like, dudes like just like nibbling wee sweets. I'm like, it's been just a fruit. Eat the whole thing. And I had these rings in my tongue and all. Going, and they're like, don't swallow it, don't swallow it. I'm like, too late. And that was fun, you know. And they'll all be like, we're mad. And then after a while, like I remember distinctly being at the bar and having to try to get 3 pints back to the table. I'm thinking, I have no power in my legs here. And then the whole thing just felt, you know, like they were just be really lightheaded. You know, like if you hold your breath or you try to turn your face red. Do you ever do that when you're a kid?
Yeah.
I just felt like that constantly. Yeah. I just felt like that entirely. And like I couldn't see, I couldn't whatever. It was fucking horrendous. And that lasted about a week. And it was just a whole, like, it was getting worse. But for like the next day when I woke up, I've never been more lightheaded. Like when I say the room was spinning, it was like, fuck. I thought I was going to have to phone 911 and be like, I need you to bring a wheelchair to get me out of this hotel.
3 lads from Manchester.
Yeah, body shaking. Yeah, quite literally. Not a good way. And thankfully, all the other lads were equally fucked. But I thought I'd let everybody down. My family, it was horrendous. And it was like, I don't know where the enjoyment comes out at. Like just feeling lightheaded, it's not enjoyable. Like,
but what were the pros then? What did you enjoy? Was there a certain part of it where you were like, this
bit
is legal?
being like, don't eat those. I was going, dare me not. That was the fun bit. And then after that, I was like, no. Because I'm thinking, but then again, I didn't know at the time that it was different to weed. Like I thought if you smoke a joint, it hits you for a bit and wears off fairly quickly. But because you're taking all that and like weed goes through your lungs or whatever, when you eat it, it's going through like, being processed in your fucking liver or kidneys or whatever and goes into your head, hits you differently. And I just didn't cope well. And then I started overthinking loads of stuff like, I'm going to die. I got that in my head that I was going to die. I'm going to fall in front of a car or something. Like, because all I could see was all these blurred lights. So you're walking through fucking Times Square and it's all fucking, it's insane trying to like, you're blocked, you're trying to focus your eyes. That was like that tenfold and everything was a blur. And then, like all the cars going past. Fuck, this is terrible. And then I thought, I'm going to end up dying here by falling in front of a car that I don't see. And then Catherine, the kids will be sad that I'm dead. Then she'll find out I'm also wiped out. And then she'll be fucking raging at me. And then I started thinking about a wedding verse we had that was about this fucking bit creepy when you read it out of context, but it was like basically I love you and all, and I'll love you even if once we're dead, like our spirit, all this shit. And when you die, I'll search around ever until I find you again, then we'll be together again. That sort of thing. So I thought when I die, she's gonna die and come after me. And then I was like, I'm gonna forever be on the run. And it was just not a fun experience.
You just freaked yourself out?
Yeah, freaked out. And then I apparently had FaceTime them all. They had FaceTime me in the morning and I was chatting and just hung up the FaceTime. I was like, I'm not ready for this.
Jeez.
And that's when I have a problem. See, whenever I lose control of my faculties and I can't speak to my kids or I can't like, whenever they are not, like when I don't make time for my kids is when I go, that's an embarrassment. And I couldn't speak to them, and she was like, we're all excited to speak to you and we miss you and all, and they were all sad, and then I was like, don't want to talk to you, mate. Fucked off my face here.
Do your kids call you Dadlo Escobar now?
Yeah, they do call me Dadlo Escobar. Yeah, they do. They call me. In fact, what Matilda called me today, I left Holly in the school and came back to the car. Catherine's like, oh, Matilda's got a new nickname for you. And I was like, what are you calling me? And she goes, the Willy guy.
The Willy guy?
Why you call me the Willy guy? And she goes, you got a Willy? We got twinkles, so you're the Willy guy. And I was like, don't go about your day life, refer to your father as the Willy guy, because that's
dangerous game there, isn't it?
It's a problem, you know. Teacher, can't worry. Yeah, your daughter's calling you the Willy guy. Why did she? Yeah, she just saw my will. When did she? You know, I was in the shower. You know, she's just like, you got a will. And she's at that age now. She's really inquisitive. She's 4, and she always asks about like, you know. And I'm not ready for this conversation because it's 2024. So she's like, so let me get this right, Dad. Girls have got twinkles, yeah. Guys got willies. And I was like, yeah. But then if I say that, people are like, no, you could be a woman with a dick. And I'm like, I know, but I don't want to get into that with a 4-year-old. It's still very basic, you know. Let's come in at like, you know, simple. Key stage 3, and then if you want to get to the University of Genders, by all means. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. And like,
me and Diona, we decided, Diona read something, it was like an article years ago, and it was basically about this uncle who had
uncles never do good things,
been bad, like, and the daughter was, or the niece was going into school every day or every couple of weeks or something and being like, my uncle took my cookie or whatever, because that's what they called it in their house. And from that day forward, me and the owner were like, it took ages, and there was like, oh, this thing, why is this wee girl so distressed and all this here? And it turned out that was the name for their thing. And me and the owner says, when our daughter was born, we were like, we're going to call it her vulva, and that's what it'll be called going forward, like the proper term for it. We were like, you have a hamster in your head cycling like fuck at the minute, just going full.
Yeah. It's just, I just think there's something funny. I get, because that's actually what the people are trying to push nowadays, is giving the correct terms for things. So if that happens, it's found out. However, there's something weird, I still think, just about a little kid saying big grown-up words. You know what I mean? And it's just a strange like juxtaposition.
My brother was freaked out when Barbie, he took his wee lad to see Barbie. His wee lad's about 9 or 10. And he says, like, I can't believe it. They said penis and everything.
Yeah.
And or vagina.
Yeah.
And you're like, I know, but that's what do you want them to say? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Blurt. That's probably what you expect them to say, you know. But anatomical names are, you know, but that's also sad too, like that this is the way the world is, that you have to do that. You know, because then you could be like, oh, Uncle Sean took my cookie, you know, and you could be like, I love cookies, and they'd be like, what's he like? And then, you know, if they were like, you know, Uncle Sean touched my vagina, you'd be like, what the fuck, Uncle Sean? You know what I mean? You couldn't get out of that and be like, oh no, you know. But
I had fucking no idea where you were going with that. When you was like, please go somewhere better than where you went with this.
But you know what I mean? Like if they say a fake term, you could, like, if you were that way as a slicked bastard, you could be doing it and being getting away with it and no one understands. But if, like you say, use term, and that is what they're trying to encourage now. And it's hard as a parent to keep on top of everything that's expected and everything.
Yeah.
Again, do you ever have like parental like intuition, or like you see someone and like there was something happened in the shop not long ago, and Catherine's like, it was just a pervy old man. I was like, probably just an old man. And then you're like, nah, you are crossing boundaries here. You know, don't speak to my kids like you know them. You don't, you know, and don't like try and touch them. I don't like when anyone touches my kids. You know what I mean?
Somebody kissed our daughter in the cheek once.
And was it a woman?
A woman.
See, they can get away with those guys.
They're like,
old woman.
Aye.
Yeah, it's weird.
Creepy bastard. Who does that?
Yeah. I kiss old women on the cheeks.
Do you?
Yeah,
the arse cheeks. The arse cheeks.
Yeah. And when I say on the cheeks, I spread them. Yeah, that's disgusting. But no, as like it is weird, and I hate and sometimes in you know, people wave at your kids and all, and Matilda's bad for that. Like we are bad for don't talk to strangers, because there's that also thing where if someone says hello to you, you don't want them to be rude either. So you can never be a parent and you never win.
But see, even right now, my kids are at home with Diona, but I'm still anxiety ridden of the fear of something happening, or Diona turning away for a minute, or just all the time. I am constantly Diona came up to me one day and she goes right, do these couple of things. She goes, right, relax your jaw. So I relaxed my jaw, and she goes, relax your shoulders. So I put my shoulders down, and then she named 2 or 3 other things, and she goes, look how tense you were there. Do you know that you had to be told to do all this, and you actually then started to de-stress your body. Yeah. Whereas so often every day I'm so tense. Yeah. Because I'm just fucking anxiety ridden for fear of something happening to my kids.
But I think that must be a dad thing, because I've been
seeing
But I do think now there's definitely a happy medium. Like I think I could be a bit less worried about shit happening, but at the same extent, Catherine maybe could be a bit more aware of the dangers of shit happening. Because you know, like we were at the zoo the other day, and Matilda was just running down hills, and I was like, don't run down hills much. She's fine. I don't know. And then lo and behold, she fell and really hurt herself. And it's hard in that moment, because you want to just comfort your kid, but you're also right. So you want to be able to turn to your wife and be like, yeah, told you. You know, and you can't gloat as your child's lying on the ground hysterically crying, but inside it's so hard. You just want to be like,
what do you call your guy? The shrug meme?
Yeah.
Your guy, James, what do you call him? Is it Mall Cup?
No, yes. I know what you mean. What's he called? Someone James? Kevin James,
yeah.
I look a lot like him.
It'd be amazing if you were wearing completely different clothes, and then that happened, and your wife turned to you, and you were just wearing the shirt, the open shirt. Just
that actually happened to me at those tapings in the Sunflower. I was dressed like that, and I did something like somebody went, and I didn't make the cut, but I need that bit, you know, to put out. It was very fun, but that was it. And sometimes you're like, you know, and I got sent a meme by the other day, and it was like, this is just you, and it was like something about whatever, always be like the dad, you know, will always go with what the mum says, but in the end is always proven right. And it was like, I think it was, you know, Tim Rob, or what's he called? You know, he was in Home Alone, you know, the guy, the Clark in the second one. I love you. Is it Tim Robbins?
Curry?
Tim Curry, yeah. And it was like, you know, in his
Limousine
face
and
is
a
like,
pizza.
and he's like this.
The Grinch? Yeah.
Yeah, it was that. And I was like, that's just me. Like, that's life. Like, I go around life being proven right. And then sometimes when inevitably you are proven right, you can't even gloat because you're like, it was so obvious. And you're like, what? Yeah. And then she's like, oh, don't even say anything. I'm like, well, you know yourself.
I know.
But it's hard. You can never win. I think that's the battle.
Never.
Like, I find I get real guilt being away from them. Like, and you have to do work. You have to do things. But as soon as I'm done, I'm like, I need to rush back. And then you get back and you're like, well, it's all fine.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I
weren't
mean?
missed. Nothing's changed. Nothing's happened. But you just feel the need to get back.
Yeah.
Me and Diona, we do a good thing now where we split our day in half. We used to spend all day together, every day, parenting together.
Alright,
Joe,
like,
just
yeah. That's what being married's about, mate.
yeah.
It's like,
But the other way, we obviously we work from home. We work
Yeah.
odd hours. You know, we work doing all lines of work. And we got to the point where it was like, we are driving ourselves mad. We need to split our day up so we have child-free time where we can go off, do things on our phone, make videos, edit, fucking podcast, do all kinds. And we started separating our days then. But more and more now, I find myself giving up my part of the day and just being like, but I want us to spend time as a family, or, you know, I want to, I'll miss my kids if I go away, or I don't really have that much on, or I have stuff on that can be put aside or pushed back to a later date. Yeah. And I end up just staying around the house most of the day and not wasting my time, but not using it wisely. Do you know what I mean?
I get you. Because I have been seeing a lot of stuff
So
too.
tough.
And then, like, it's weird because everything, like, in an ideal world, I don't know, some people ask you what you want to do, and it's a hard question because I think ultimately I want to, if someone's like, what's your dream job? I say I'm technically doing it, but also my dream job is to enjoy work that I do, to get a creative outlet, that's fine, but also to enable me to have time with my kids, because that's what I ultimately want to be doing, is hanging out with those guys because they're my favourites.
Joe,
But-
I think, sorry.
No, but with it, at the same time, you can get a point where you're like, I've had enough of these guys for a bit, and then I want to go and work. You know what I mean?
But then
It's
do you
weird.
find when you come back then you're buzzing to be around them and all, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is
Also,
great.
I think my hype, I don't want to feel guilty about saying this, but I think I build myself up about seeing my kids when I'm away from them for a bit. Like when I'm away this weekend, I'll be buzzing to get home to them, and probably within 5 minutes I'll be like, why the fuck did I even care? They're fucking wee pricks. You know what I mean? There's that. And like, yeah, and then sometimes like I'll come home, or if I'm away, or I'll be like, hey, and then like Matilda, like, I know, be like sitting playing something and look up at me and be like, go back to like for her dolls again. I'm like, all right, fucking hell, cheers. You know what I mean? Do you get that? Like, you're buzzing to see them. They could not give a fuck.
Yeah, Rocky's at that stage now where Diona went to Dubai for 5 days or 5 nights or something, and she came back and Diona was all Rocky, and he like turned and just like walked into the living room, and you're like, that's children. That's you think when you're away that they're yearning for you and they're like, my mommy or my daddy, and they're dreaming about you at night. They can't wait for you to get home. They don't give a fuck.
And Matilda's got into giving the thumbs up, not speaking sometimes. So like, I'll be like, you all okay? And she'll, I'll be like,
Like a
"Fuck,
builder.
yeah, like, don't worry about it. I'm like, no, I do worry about it. And then she says wee things too that can be really funny, but also you just be like I'll be like, oh, so what are you up to over there? And she'll be like, don't worry, I want to talk to you. No, that's yours. I'll be like, what? I was like, to me, and she'll be like, I've said enough words. And I'll be like, but you never stop talking. Like, why do you? I want to talk to you. And she's like, I don't want to talk to you. She doesn't see she's being rude. And you'd be like, you're a rude wee bitch, like, you know.
Winter said to me last week, look how old I am.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like,
Just,
look how old.
look how old I am.
They're like little gays, aren't they? They're like, oh, you look terrible today. Look how old you look.
Yeah.
They're just sassy wee fucks, like, sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
And like, it's funny too. Do you ever find like you're the only get jealous of the other person over something that the other person has no control over? Like, Holly is, as much as you can say, she's kind of like grossly in their dad. Like, she loves me to the point that it's like, it would make me, if I was Catherine, it would make me sick. Holly would come home from school every day with artwork just about how much she loves me. And Catherine's like, do you have none for me? And she's like, nah. And it's like, but why have you? Because the other day she'd done this whole like envelope thing. It was like all wrapped up, and when I opened it up, it's just the page says, I love Dad. And it's
That's
like,
amazing.
she gave it to the both of us, and I opened it, and Catherine was like, You can write mum in there too. And she was like, yeah, I just didn't want to. And then she's like, but like, and then you can see Catherine getting annoyed. She's like to me, and I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, what you hate me because my kids love me? Oh, I'm terrible, aren't I? But it's like sometimes I'd say to her, listen, could you write something for your mum? And she'd be like, but I don't want to. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Do it.
Just do it.
Fuck. But then she's like, I love my mum, but I love her, like, you know, she just doesn't appreciate my art. And that's probably true. Because anytime the artwork ends up in the bin, Holly will open the bin and see it, have a cry, and then come to me and cry about it. And I'll be like, how's your mum? So then in her head, she's probably like, he doesn't appreciate my art.
You're getting hurt.
Yeah, when really I'm like, hey, it was me all along, you know? Because that's how you know it was me. Because it'll be, the paper will be in the recycling. Where if it's Catherine, will be fucked in amongst the compost or whatever else because she doesn't care about the world. Despite being a vegetarian.
Yeah, that's the honest like too. It'd be amazing if she came home one day and she had it drawn for you and Catherine goes, do you have one for me? And she just go, no, Catherine.
I know, yeah. I don't know.
The best.
But sometimes they use our names and it freaks me out. I'm like, no, don't do that. And like, I will lose the head.
Yeah. When they would hear somebody saying our name and then she'd be all, Sean. As if she's saying a bad word or she's not allowed to say it.
But like, speaking of bad words, you got to be careful of bad words you say around too. Some Matilda's on her tablet the other day and I just heard her go, oh, fucking dickhead, like that. She's been in the car with me and I've been driving and I've like under my breath said,
you can't help it though. And at the same time too, it's just noises, isn't it?
Yeah. But
then doesn't mean anything. Not
if she's around her granny. She's like, oh, what do you want for breakfast? Oh, I know, do you have Cocoa Pops? No, we just have Rice Krispies. Oh, fucking dickhead. Yeah. That's a hard one to explain. Because then my mum will be the sort who would be like, he's been telling my grandkids that I'm a dickhead. He's like, I'd be like, I've said it driving, she's picked it up and said it out of context. She's like, what are you then made it? I don't know, it's
it'd be funny if you're driving going, your granny's a dickhead. Your granny's a fucking dickhead.
Yeah. Oh man.
But Winter says Jesus me. Something happens to her, she goes, Jesus me. And you're like, but me and Diona don't even say that. I don't know where she's getting it from. No idea. Me. Just shouts Jesus me as if like fuck me.
Yeah, but at least it's better than fuck me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me Jesus would be.
Yeah, it'd be
sacrilege.
Disastrous.
Yeah, but no, but I had a mate once who said like even like innocent things they could say get you in trouble. He got spoken to by one of the nursery teachers once. He's playing football with his son, and he said like he tackled him or whatever, and I was fine, just mucking around. And he went to school and they said, yes, what's up? And he goes, my dad kicks me. And they're like, what? Kicks you? And he said, yeah. And he's like, does he do it often? Yeah, quite a lot. And he's like, okay, so they bring him in and be like, yeah, so and so says you kick him. And like, did he give you? And then he was like, do it? Like when have I kicked him? You know? But then he's like, oh, just playing football. All right, okay.
No way.
Dick got him in trouble. He's like, fucking hell, you gotta watch like.
Yeah, they'd ban sell you, wouldn't they?
Oh no. But then they're up. Then they're full adults. You full. Yeah. And what do you? What's the best stage of being a parent? Have I had to look forward to, or has it happened to me?
I think you're in it at the minute.
Yeah, I actually like
the age you're at is lovely. See, Christmas time and Santa and things like that. I don't know if you're a big Christmas guy. Me and Diona fucking live for Christmas.
All right. I thought you meant.
I don't know if you're a normal size Christmas guy. What do you want me to say?
How I look in this outfit. I look like young Santa. I look like Santa before he got the suit.
Yeah, bad Santa.
But. Trad Santa. But no, I love Christmas, especially with the kids. But you've always been a Christmas guy, haven't you? Like, you've always loved it.
I live for it. Like before here, we went for a coffee. We went into Oxfam.
Yeah.
So I was looking for videos. Yeah. And
look at all the stuff we have.
Brand new. Fresh off the rack. And we were looking through records, and I have about 20 Christmas records, and they're just at the back of my stack of records. I've only one wee box, but I have about 20 at the back, and I live for the day that I get to put my tree up. And while I'm putting it up, I listen to Christmas records, and it is the fucking best thing. I'm in my element.
What's some of your favourite Christmas songs to listen to?
Do you know who I'd never really liked until I bought in a charity shop one day for £1 his Christmas album? I'll give you a clue.
Elvis.
I'll love blue. Elvis.
Yeah.
Elvis Christmas is fucking brilliant.
Elvis Christmas. That's Elvis Costello. But Elvis is nice. And Christmas, he's got a nice voice for Christmas.
Yeah.
Without you. Yeah. Like Lonely at Christmas by Mud sounds like Elvis.
I thought that was Elvis until a few years ago. I had no idea.
No, like, you know, I will go one of my greatest ever compliments at Christmas, which I always remember, is my mother-in-law. We were at her house. She was starting Christmas dinner out, and it was all a bit of hullabaloo going on in the house, and I was just singing Silver Bells because Catherine made me. She's like, "Can you sing?" This is weird now that I'm saying this. She said, "Can you sing Silver Bells for my like family?" I'd be like, "No." She would be really good at singing Silver Bells. I'm like, wow.
Are you?
Yeah. And I was like, I'll do Silver Bells. I was giving it Silver Bells, it's Christmas time in the city. And then her mum was like,
I wanted you to keep going.
It's like, I thought ring-a-ling. Thought I'd turn the TV up. I was like, she thought it was actually
Ultimate compliment.
She thought I was Bing. It's not that. Children laughing. Not too far. But yeah, I love it. But I also feel like it happens so fast now as a parent. Do you know what I mean? Like, whenever I was younger, I'm like in school or uni, Christmas holidays felt like years.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, fuck, all you're doing, so you're stressing out about getting ready for Christmas,
So
buying
stressful.
gifts, getting things together, fucking dressing the place, making the house look. And then you get into stuff that you don't realize. Like, you're like, low key, you don't want to have an open like competition with your neighbours in the street. But then you see them, and you're like, we don't have enough illuminations.
Yeah, you have to do better.
And you have to just get more illuminations. And then like
Yeah.
even certain like, I don't know if you ever do sneaky stuff over around Christmas, but like Catherine has certain illuminations she really likes. Maybe there's one I think's a bit tacky. I remember I've dropped it off a ladder and broke it. Oops. You know, did it on purpose. But you know, it was like a fucking projector. Poof. Oops. Shite. But like you definitely get into that a bit more. And then like I love nothing more. There's nothing more to me it says you're a dad guy than whenever you're putting up the Christmas lights at the front of the house.
Yeah.
You're on your ladder and
You have to do it.
Yep.
You won't
and
let anybody else touch it. That's your job.
And that's it. And
Yeah.
I love it. And it's
Yeah.
great. And it's going to be Christmas in no time.
It is. It really is. No time at all. And do you know what I've done? I've got the point now where I used to put the tree up on my birthday, which was the 1st of December. Perfect time. Start of Advent. It's probably why I'm such a Christmas guy.
Yeah.
First window, you open it. It's a
You?
big guy. Do you know what I mean? It's me. So now we put it up. Then we went from my birthday. I'm talking in the past, like since I met Diona, 12 years. So we went from putting the Christmas tree up on my birthday, on my birthday, to then putting it up the weekend before my birthday, to then stretching like another week before that.
Oh no, you gotta rein yourself in. I think 1st of December acceptable. The only time I've ever put it up early was COVID.
I know, but
So
look
it's
at
like,
the Christmas light turn-ons. They're all in November and all. Do you know what I mean? And
Then you know what I don't like? I don't like. No, I've seen some places with Christmas decorations on sale already. No, I also don't like when people are like, I've taken my Halloween decorations down. Christmas. No, there's a period in between.
let them breathe. Yeah, give it.
Yeah, come on. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And also,
Give it at
like,
least 2 weeks.
this is another weird thing that we think about. We have some neighbours who would be sort of quite Christian with things, and like they don't celebrate Halloween, which is totally fair. But then now I'm like, you know what? I don't want to put Christmas or Halloween decorations up the front of my house because I don't want to be
Oh, you can't live your life like that.
sly to those. But you know what I mean? I just don't.
But you're a sly guy,
I know I am sly guy, but don't like Christmas or don't like Halloween decorations anyway.
David.
Scared of it.
Are
You
you?
know? I like scary. Like I like I'll watch a scary movie, you know. But I'll stretch the pumpkins. You know what I mean? Can I also just call out pumpkin spice lattes? They don't fucking taste like pumpkins.
Yeah, it's a gimmick. It's a selling point.
But you know what it is? Chai latte with coffee, isn't it? It's actually the same
Pretty
thing.
much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Same thing.
but you know what? I have discovered I used to have a real hate. I was like Ebenezer Scrooge about Halloween and autumn in general. I just hated it. And then I realised it's like, you know, Fat Bastard. You actually mention it in your play where I eat because I'm unhappy and I'm unhappy because I eat. I think I just got unhappy with the weather in autumn. I didn't like it changed the way it made me miserable. So I was like, you know what, instead of hating it, I'm going to buy into it a bit more.
Embrace it.
So whenever it came to autumn, I went straight to Tesco's, 2 Yankee candles, pumpkin, make a whole place, turn my heat on. You
Love
know,
it. Look at your
and just
walls.
get
do
into
you know
it.
what I mean?
Yeah, it's
They're
that's
so
like being
autumnal.
inside a pumpkin, isn't it?
Yeah, love it.
So yeah, I'm just embracing it a bit more. And if I was in my own house, I'd be having the time of my life. Now I'm a bit stressed out this week being at my parents, but
Yeah,
you know,
I'm,
but you know what? Mom's fucking dickhead.
yeah.
That's it. I say to my
I
kids,
have a lot of time for your mum.
your granny's a fucking dickhead. No, I do as well. Your she's a great woman.
Yeah.
That's
I-
just a joke. But you'll hear this and
yeah.
it'll come from me.
I do call your mum by your sister's name, which I
Yeah.
don't mean to do, but Fiona.
Yeah, that's not my mom. That's my sister.
That's your sister. See, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
I genuinely thought that was your mum's name. I'd bet
Yeah.
my kids' lives that your mum was called Fiona.
And you'd have lost your kids' lives.
Yeah.
They never even real.
And And I met your mum 20, 30 times
Yeah.
to my deathbed. And I don't know, I can't remember her name. Pam?
Pat.
Pat. Of
But
course it is.
Pam's
Patricia.
my mother-in-law, so
Pam's your mother-in-law?
never call her. She likes the L at the end of it, you know. Like,
Pam's your best friend when you're in Newcastle.
oh,
and Glasgow next week.
no, it's Andrew Ryan's Pam. But yeah, so she's a great woman. She's, you know, doesn't really take a joke too well sometimes when she is sent stuff from this podcast when I'm joking about her, but
It's all right.
yeah, she's gonna isolate it and be like, I've literally, I don't know, you call me fucking, I'll be like, I literally did, but didn't mean it. You know?
I people need to understand that it's entertainment, and it's just you're just trying to have a laugh, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you're out for. You're not out to hurt people. You're not out to start a row. You're not out to ruffle feathers. Do you mean you just?
So if you were,
wee bit
like,
of
who would
banter
you be
with the
going
lads.
for?
Locally, like on the scene or what? Diona.
Go
Do
for
you know what I
her.
mean? Out of all her dark secrets, I'll just. Who wants one?
Why? That's what you should do. You should just start a blog.
I'll do a tell-all book.
Imagine that you agreed. A little bit. Let me tell you another wee joke. I was just all your dark secrets about you. You'd be like, well, Jim would be like, I don't know how to draw this.
Fuck the
You know?
illustrators.
It's gonna be fun. So
Yeah.
it's making life really awkward for me. But anyway, we'll let you go because you've got to go back to the family. I have to go and
But we're doing Patreon stuff first, are we not?
yeah, but if you don't subscribe to Patreon, you don't see it.
But this is an advert. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but what
Get
I'm
on
doing is
Patreon for
wrapping.
more.
I'm wrapping this podcast up. You see?
Okay.
So you're plugging me, which I appreciate, but I'm going to say now, plugging you out this Thursday. So will there be any tickets left for Sex in the City Hall?
There are very, very few left, especially for the 2 Friday shows and the 2 Saturday shows. But if you're quick, you might be able to snag 1 or 2.
And also, the last time, do you want to hold that up there? Let me tell
Thank
you
you
a
very
joke.
much.
Your book, which is absolutely fantastic. My Holly loves it. You know, she actually loves it nearly as much as she loves her dad. Not quite, but on a par.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll come back from school one day with a wee letter and say, let me tell you a joke.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I love that.
And she loves
Yeah.
it. So I'll put the link to the book. It's on sale now.
Cheers,
Where
man,
can you get it? It's on
Amazon,
Amazon.
Waterstones,
You know what?
wherever you buy
Where
your
would you
books.
rather it be bought? Where do you get more bang for your buck? Who takes more?
Nuts Corner every Sunday morning. My car boot.
Nice. Well, I'll put a link to your
My car
GPS
boot.
location and they get there and they get it. Sean Hegarty, as always, it's been a pleasure.
Cheers,
And
man.
you're actually really autumnal. You look great.
I love autumn. I'm really embracing it.
I'm the sly guy.